For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're valley-wide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles.
Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange,
And not all our steaks are ribeyes.
but wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road.
Belts strapped and dreams packed.
No distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Kimberly High School, the home of the Kimberly Bulldogs. Lauren Jensen alongside Jarrett Hess tonight running camera for us. And the Bulldogs have a home game here tonight against one of the top-ranked teams in the state, the Homedale Trojans. Homedale making their trek across the state to come play Kimberly here in the Treasure Valley. Of course, Homedale, they come into this 2-0 on the season and ranked number 2 in the coaches' polls in the 3A division. Thanks for joining us here on IdahoSports.com. It's GameStream production of Magic Valley Game Night, presented by Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Additional coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Meridian Plumbing and Lookout Credit Union. We're going to step away for a quick break as we honor our nation with the national anthem. This is IdahoSports.com, Magic Valley Game Night. We'll be right back.
An Idaho-based credit union is leading the way in community initiatives and charitable partnerships. Recognizing a need for change, Lookout Credit Union underwent a major transformation to put its employees and their community first. Through 2 strong initiatives, Lookout Credit Union is ensuring a brighter future for its community. To find out more, visit www.lookoutcu.com.
At Valley-Wide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're valley-wide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Ads like this keep popping up, but I see through the hype because those vape clouds people claim are just water vapor contain as many as 31 different chemicals, like formaldehyde, the stuff they preserve dead bodies with. And while the flavors sound all harmless, we still have no idea what these ingredients could be doing to our bodies. But I already see vaping for exactly what it is. Get the real facts at BehindTheHaze.com.
Well, welcome back here to Kimberly High School as we just had the national anthem. You see all the youth football teams and cheerleaders running off the field. It is a community night here at Kimberly High School. The stands are packed here on the home side, and a decent bunch of fans over there for Homedale. It's a long drive. It's about 3 hours to get over here from Homedale, so a bit of a jaunt for the Trojans. Once again, thanks for joining us on Magic Valley Game Night. We want to thank Meridian Plumbing. They're the Treasure Valley's top choice when it comes to your plumbing needs. For 40 years, Meridian Plumbing's been serving new home builds and remodels, farms and businesses across the Treasure Valley. After your first service call with Meridian Plumbing, it will be easy to see why thousands of customers return year in and year out for all their plumbing needs. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Meridian Plumbing offers a no-charge dispatch fee. The search for your permanent plumber is one click or one call away, and that is to Meridian Plumbing. Choose the safe local plumber. Choose Meridian Plumbing. Well, we've got the coin toss out at midfield right now. I want to talk just a little bit about these teams. I kind of mentioned earlier, Homedale coming in the number 2 ranked team in the coaches poll. Homedale only behind Sugar Salem. Homedale did get one first place vote. Sugar Salem, of course, has been on a tear over the last decade, winning 4 to 5 state championships during that time, missing out on one in double overtime. Homedale looking to try to play spoiler this year. Homedale won the toss and declined. Kimberly will get the opening kickoff to start this thing. Homedale comes in 2-0. They beat a good Snake River team and then beat up on Filer last week. For the Kimberly Bulldogs, Kimberly comes in 1-2. Kimberly did beat Snake River as well by a small margin. They lost to Fruitland, a good Fruitland team, also in this classification. They're in the same conference as Homedale. And then they lost to a team, I believe it was it might not have been at the Rocky Mountain Rumble, but it was an out-of-state Nevada team, I believe, that they lost to as well. So Kimberly, unsure. You know, they beat Snake River. Both these teams have beat Snake River. Homedale beat them by a little more than Kimberly did, and so we'll see how this factors in. On paper, Homedale the better squad based on records, based on ranking, but Kimberly has the home field advantage here, so we'll see what the Bulldogs can do tonight. They're going to get the opening possession on offense as we get ready to start here. Homedale in their visiting whites with the red helmets. Kimberly in their home reds, red helmets, black pants. Doing the kicking for the Trojans. It'll be number 24. That's Lucas Hall, 6'5" junior. He does a little bit of everything, tight end, defensive end, kicker, and punter. So here we go. This game has started as we're underway. Kickoff taken back at the 5, returning near side and forced out of bounds. Return man for the Bulldogs, that was number 10, Cy Walker. Just underway here in the first quarter. The Kimberly Bulldogs. 1st and 10 for them at the 26-yard line. Quarterback for the Bulldogs, number 2, McCrae Bruning. And they start with 2 wideouts to the far side and a tight end here to the near side. Pitch back. They're going to pass on the halfback pass. Wobbly pass, going to get out of bounds. Caught, but well out of bounds by Homedale. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Not a great throw there from Cy Walker, although it was well covered, nowhere to go with it. Second and 10 for Kimberly. Kimberly over the last few years has been the head of this conference here, SCIC. They have had everybody's number over Gooding, Filer, and Buell. Pitch goes to the tailback, number 9. He tries to cut it up. Going to get probably about 4 yards. That's Damon Taylor, the senior running back for the Bulldogs. It'll be 3rd and 6 here early on in the first quarter, just underway. 11:25 on the clock. Little sling pass out to the tight end. Room to run if he can get there. He does. First down and more. And drug out of bounds after a nice pickup. Big tight end picks up that first down. First down for the Bulldogs out at the 44-yard line. Bruning hands it off. Room to run around the right side. Stiff arm down the sideline and diving forward. Great carry by Damon Taylor again. Another first down out to the 41-yard line now of Kimberly. And a good opening possession here for the Bulldogs. Another handoff. This time hitting the backfield, but still drags a couple of... No, he gets free. The ball came free. The fumble picked up and carried all the way out to the 21-yard line. So Taylor lost it. It was picked up, I believe, by number 0 for the Bulldogs, Titus Osterman, the sophomore tight end. And he makes a lot more yardage out of it. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Looking back over for the play as they're looking right into the sun over at their home sideline. And they're going to run out of play clock here. Finally do get the play. Back to pass. Kind of drops and then runs. Still on his feet, but going to be dropped for a loss. Back at the 25-yard line. Nowhere to go for Bruning. And it'll be 2nd and 13. Again, taking their time. Everyone looking over to the sideline for the play. Give it another 30 minutes and the sun will not be right in their eyes. Pitch to the backfield. Makes one man miss, but not the second. Homedale all over that one. Ball carrier number 7, Jackson May, had nowhere to go. And now it's 3rd and about 16. 9:42 and counting here. It's Magic Valley game night here on IdahoSports.com, sponsored by Lookout Credit Union and Meridian Plumbing. Huge thanks to each of them. We'll get to all our power boosters a little later. Big thanks to them as well. Of course, this is a non-conference game, but it is in that same 4A classification. Looks left, throws right, and that ball tipped away nicely by the defender. That's number 3 on defense there for Homedale, Angel Nolasco. It was intended for the receiver number 1, Joe Barrett. And now it's 4th and 16. The Bulldogs will go for it. Kind of in that no man's land here. You don't have a kicker that can punch it through from this distance, so they'll go for it. Back to pass. Fakes right, now looking. He's got a man in the middle of the field, but he couldn't get it to him. He was running for his life. Run out of bounds at the 20, but not enough for a first down, so they'll turn it over on downs. It'll be 1st and 10 for Homedale. So a promising drive for the Bulldogs ends with nothing. And a good defensive stop for the Trojans. They'll take over with 9:04 left here in the first quarter. Remember, there's a lot of games going on IdahoSports.com tonight. And earlier today, we had the Tiger Grizz cross-country meet, a big cross-country meet over in Idaho Falls. Man in motion for Kimberly, rolling right. And in trouble is that quarterback. He's going to get sacked back at about the 12, 13-yard line. Xavier Uranga, the junior quarterback for the Trojans. That name, Uranga, has been synonymous with Homedale for a lot of years, at least 2 to 3 decades at this point. A big sack. Backs him up 6 more yards. 2nd and 16 now with 8:25 left here in the first quarter. Man in motion. Uranga hands it off. Hitting the backfield, tripped up, and down he goes. Another loss on the play. Ball carrier that time, number 21. He got hit by number 25. 21 is Chance Martell for Homedale, and number 25, that's Lucas Williams, the linebacker, shooting through to get that tackle. And now it's 3rd and 20. 7:50 and counting here in the first. And a flag comes in. This might back Homedale up a little more. No, offsides. Kimberly. Man, I'm going to get rushed by some fans saying that. Kimberly, same colors. Same colors. Those two teams not big fans of each other generally. But Kimberly lined up off sides, and so they give 5 back. It's 3rd and 15 now. Still 3rd and long for the Trojans. 7:35 on the clock. Back to pass is Uranga. Uranga looking downfield. He's got a man wide open down the field. Caught in stride. This is going to go for 6. Touchdown, Homedale. Number 9, Luke Henry, got into the backfield. He beat everyone. And on a 3rd and 15, they go 85 yards on a touchdown pass. So it looked like Kimberly had them stuck deep in their own end, and a big pass from Uranga to Henry, and it's 6-0 with 7:23 left on the clock. On for the PAT is Lucas Hall. Holds down, kick is up, and it is through and good. So it's 7-0 Homedale. Seven to nothing here with 7:23 left in the quarter. Talk a little bit more about some of the games that are on Idaho Sports tonight. Of course, it's Friday the 13th. Jarrett, you were concerned about the press box falling down on us based on it being Friday the 13th?
Correct.
Yes. I think we're going to be okay, though I'm sure that Kimberly feels a little bit hexed right there when they had him stuck 3rd and long, and then a big play to score for the Trojans. But a few other games going on. You've got Bear River, Utah playing Burley. Bishop Kelly facing off against Rigby. That's a good one to watch. Different classifications on those two schools, but 2 good football teams. Idaho Falls playing Century. Madison and Skyline, that'd be a good one as well. Middleton versus Cuna. And then we get into next week. So 5 or 6 games to choose from if you're watching high school football tonight with us. A low kickoff, takes a funky roll, picked up at the 5. Return up again to the right side. Got some blocking there and then run out of bounds just shy of the 30-yard line. So Kimberly, after giving up that big touchdown pass, will have another shot here on offense. 7:14 here on the first quarter. Over the left side, going to pick up 5 or 6 on the carry. And the ball came loose, and the official signals that it's Homedale ball. So the first turnover forced of the game And Homedale gets it back in great field position at the 34-yard line. Not a great start on that drive now for Kimberly. You know, they started really well in that first drive all the way down to about the 20-yard line, got stopped on downs, and then a big touchdown pass and now a turnover back-to-back. And Homedale with 7:05 here, another scoring opportunity. Could go up 2 scores. Back to Pashurenga. Little wide receiver screen back to the middle. Good yardage. Going to be just shy of the first down, it looks like, by about a yard. It'll be second and 1, excuse me. Mellencamp and Hardy making the stop finally for the Bulldogs. I believe that was Luke Henry again on the reception on that wide receiver inside screen. And they'll line up again. Similar situation. Tight end back on both sides. They run right. Caught from behind, but not till he gets a first down. Walker on the carry. Brock Walker. No, that's number 32, excuse me. That is Javid Blewett. Javid Blewett with the carry. Up the middle, nowhere to go that time. Very little, maybe a yard on the carry. And Javid Blewett gets a yard. And now it'll be 2nd and 9. Bulldogs, 2 big plays back to back. An 85-yard touchdown throw on 3rd and 15. And then they force a fumble on the first carry of the next possession for Kimberly. Now they're back in scoring position. Faked it up the middle. Wide receiver screen out to the far right side. Going to be very close to a first down again. Based on the spot, it looks like they're going to give it to him. Cuenca with the catch. And it is a first down at the 12-yard line. 5:15 left here in the quarter. The shadows getting longer out there on the field. Sun setting behind us. Right now, Homedale in the light. Handoff to Blewett. Blewett down to about the 8 or 9 yard line, it looks like. It'll be 2nd and 7 with 4:40 left. A beautiful night here at Kimberly High School. Perfect fall weather.
It's kind of chilly.
It is getting that way.
Yep.
The last couple days have really started to cool down, especially at night.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of movement. I'm guessing that's going to be an offsides against Kimberly. It is. The nose guard there, it's number 78, I believe. Matthew Thurnagle made contact before the ball moved. And so now it's 2nd and 2. Yeah, fall is here, and it makes sense. I mean, it's middle of September just about.
Already.
But a clear night here tonight. Once the sun goes down, it will cool down significantly here out on the field. Handoff to Blewett. Blewett might have got the first down. It'll depend on the spot. He's close. Either way, well, they're going to mark him short. So he's about a half-yard short. So it'll be 3rd and a half yard as the drive continues for Homedale. 3.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Of course, Homedale in the SRV, Snake River Valley Conference, over in the Treasure Valley. Handoff to Blewett up the middle. He got the first down. He got all of it. Touchdown, Homedale. Shavid Blewett into the end zone. And it's 13-0 after the turnover. And on for the kick once again is number 24. That is Lucas Hall. And that ball blocked in the middle. Number 69 got his hands up, knocked it down. It's Gunnar Stringham. So it'll stay 13-0. Homedale capitalizes on the turnover, and they'll get the ball back here, or excuse me, Kimberly will get the ball back after the kickoff. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break. We'll be back. This is Magic Valley Game Night here on IdahoSports.com.
An Idaho-based credit union is leading the way in community initiatives and charitable partnerships. Recognizing a need for change, Lookout Credit Union underwent a major transformation to put its employees and their community first. Through 2 strong initiatives, Lookout Credit Union is ensuring a brighter future for its community. To find out more, visit www.lookoutcu.com.
Welcome back. After Kimberly takes a 2-score lead, it's 13-0. They missed the PAT. Well, it got blocked. And now they'll kick back to Kimberly. Kimberly had a good opening drive. They got all the way down to the 20-yard line where they got stopped and turned over on downs. And then a big 85-yard touchdown throw for a score. Carry up the middle. Some room to run, and then ran out of room. Tackled down at about the 24, 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Kimberly, I talked about the spot these 2 teams were ranking in. Let's take another quick look at it. Take a look at the media poll and see where they have them. The media poll, pretty much the same as the coaches poll, as that handoff goes up the middle, going to pick up about 5 on the carry out to the 29-yard line. In fact, the media poll looks identical as far as who's ranked to the coaches poll. Sugar Salem number 1, Homedale number 2, Fruitland number 3, Buell number 4, Moscow number 5, and then Kimberly with a vote. And that ball picked off on the out route. Touchdown, Homedale. Jumping the route, I think that was number 25, Alex Sotelo, and he takes it 29 yards for a touchdown. 2 turnovers forced now by the Trojans. And you're starting to see why they are ranked number 2 in the state behind the Sugar Salem Diggers. $19-0. Hall on for the PAT. Had his last one blocked. This one is up, and that one is good. So now 2:39 left. It's 20-0. In the last about 2.5 minutes, Homedale has put 3 scores on the board. I think that's, Jarrett, that's what good teams do, and you see that consistently in high school football and all levels of football. Is the good teams, they make their own points.
Oh, yeah.
They force turnovers.
Yep.
They win on special teams. You know, the defense has come up big twice here. They forced a fumble, that time a pick 6. Yep. They've scored on both turnovers. And they find themselves up 20-0. And
they're on a good streak already in the first quarter.
And Kimberly finds themselves in a deep hole. Of course, a lot of game left here, but Kimberly's got to get something going. Offensively, they have to take advantage of, right now it looks like Homedale is just overplaying everything they do on offense. They've got to find a way to take advantage of that. Ball returned and then pitched to number 21. He's got some room to run, but it closed down quickly, dropped at the 26-yard line. On the carry, on the return, it was pitched to Kenyon Hernandez. And it'll be 1st and 10 again for the Bulldogs at the 26-yard line. The last two possessions, a fumble, which turned into a touchdown, and a pick six. Rolling right. That's caught. Big tight end, and then driven out of bounds. That's number 15 for the Bulldogs, Mason Jensen. Heights and weight's not listed, but Jensen, man, he's got to go 6'2", 6'3", 200 pounds at least. So they only pick up 3 on the play, just a short out route. And it's 2nd and 7. 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Back to pass. Across the middle, it's caught. There were 2 guys there, catching it and still on his feet, all the way out to the 48-yard line. That is number 0 who ended up with it, Titus Osterman, the sophomore tight end. As Jared, I was watching that play, the second Kimberly player that thought it was coming to him, when he didn't catch it, I thought it got intercepted again, and then Osterman comes out of the pack with it.
Oh, yep.
Back to pass. Out route, caught. Picking up good yardage. Going to pick up about 8 on the carry all the way out to the 45 of Homedale. Cuenca on the tackle. Second down and 2. Ball is caught for a first down again by Jensen. And must be the name. Inside the 40, down to the 37. Well, maybe the 37-yard line there of Homedale. 55 seconds left here in the first quarter. Kimberly, again, a good drive here. Looks very similar to their first drive of the game. Back to pass again, on the run now. Making some moves up the middle. Going to gain some yardage. Gain about 4, we'll say 3, just inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. 2nd and 7. 40 seconds and counting. Back to pass. Nobody to go to. Now he's on the run. In trouble trying to get to the outside. Sacked for a loss. Back at the 37, 38-yard line. So now 3rd and 11 after the loss on the play. And a spot there maybe where Bruning should have tried to throw it away to save the yardage. So now instead of 2nd and 7, it's 3rd and long, and that will be the end of the first quarter. We're going to step away, thank a couple more sponsors. This is Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles.
Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there. It's who we are.
Welcome back to start of the second quarter. Homedale up 20-0. They scored on a 3rd and 15, which was an 85-yard touchdown pass. They'll throw out into the flat to number 9. Ball carried, dragging tacklers out very near a first down again. Nice play. It's going to be 4th and about 2, though, still short of the first down. Big, hard runner after the catch, Damon Taylor. Second, little confusion on defense. 4th and 2. They sling it back out in the flat. He's got to get upfield. He makes one tackler mass and gets right to the sticks. I don't know. It's going to be close. It's awfully close. No, he didn't get there. The white hat stepped up, looked at it, and said no. So another turnover on downs. A good drive from the Bulldogs. But they get stopped, and they have to turn it over again. And you think back on that play where Bruning didn't throw it away, took a loss of about 3 or 4 on the play, made it 3rd and 11, and they end up about a half-yard short. So 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Ball sitting at the 20s, just beyond the 27-yard line. Man in motion out into the slot. Uranga hands it off, hit in the backfield and dropped. Blew it. Got dropped by, I believe it's Brady Anderson. No, Lucas Williams into the backfield that time. Williams has been in on a couple plays like that. So about a half-yard loss, bring up 2nd and just beyond 10. So that defensive line way up. So they're looking like they're bringing a few guys. Then a couple guys drop back out into the flat again. Little screen play, nowhere to go. Maybe picked up a couple. Clock continues here in the second. 10:42 left here in the second quarter in what has been all Homedale. Kimberly actually may have more offensive yardage, but they haven't been able to get beyond the 20-yard line. On the other side, a turnover about the 30-yard line, so a short field for Homedale, as well as a pick 6, again about the 30-yard line, and then the 85 yards. So, really, they only have about 150 yards of offense, but 3 touchdowns. Handoff. Now throwing, man open, and he overthrew him. He had him and overthrew him. The pass was intended for Rafael Cuenca. Throwing the ball, that was number 8, Sotelo. And now it's 4th and long. So the Bulldogs likely able to get a stop here. It's 4th and about 7, and lined up to punt are the Trojans. Great punt. Driving the receiver back to about the 22-yard line. Looking for some room to run and gets away from a couple guys out across the 35 to the 36. As good of a punt as that was, the return was pretty good as well. Number 21, Kenyon Hernandez. He had no blockers. It was 1-on-5 and able to pick up about almost 15 yards on the return. So here we go. Kimberly looking for their first score, a volleyball out on the field. Wrong sport. Good carry again. Yeah, I think a volleyball came from the stands, and one of the camera girls down there ran out on there and kicked it back off the field. A nice run again that time by Taylor. Flags come in. We're going to have a false start. No. Offsides against the Trojans. They lined up over the ball. So a free 5 yards, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. 9:15 on the clock here in the second quarter. Kimberly's put together good drives, but they've turned the ball over twice, and another 2 times they've turned it over on downs. Bruning checking out the play. Spins and tosses it. Oh, ball comes loose. He just lost it, and he's lucky to get back on it. Damon Taylor probably trying to switch hands with that ball, and he lost it, able to get it back, but a big loss on the play, a loss of about 7 or 8. And now it's 2nd and 17, 8:35 and counting here in the second quarter. The Bulldogs struggling here early against the Trojans. Back to pass across the middle. It's high, but it's caught. Ripped it away. The tight end all the way out to the 32-yard line. Mason Jensen did a good job using that big body, knocked the defender away, and ripped the ball away for a big gain. 1st and 10 for Kimberly. They quickly get back to the line of scrimmage. Handoff up the middle. Gonna get a few yards and then dropped. Gonna get about 4 on the carry. Nice pickup on 1st down. As everybody unpiles there. You might call that a doggy pile. There's multiple Bulldogs involved there.
Yep.
Did you get that?
Yeah, I see what you did there. Punny.
Yeah. That's about as good as I've got tonight. So 7:38 left here. We don't claim to be funny. Hit as he throws, picked off again. That's going to be a pick 6. Down the field. One man to get him. He's not going to. Touchdown. Another pick 6. Number 2. Cuenca jumped the route and picked it off. Bruning hit as he threw. The route was jumped again, and it's 26-0. Three turnovers, 3 scores for the Trojans. So everything going right here for Homedale on a Friday the 13th. The nightmare continuing for the Bulldogs.
Just for the Bulldogs.
PAT good, 27-0. So not a great start here in the first half for the Bulldogs. 3 turnovers, 3 scores off turnovers, and they gave up a 85-yard touchdown pitch and catch on a 3rd and 15. But on the other side of things, if you need some help and your day is not going well and you need some help with your plumbing, you can reach out to Meridian Plumbing. They're Treasure Valley's top choice when it comes to your plumbing needs. For 40 years, Meridian Plumbing's been serving new home builds, remodels, farms, and businesses across the Treasure Valley. After your first call with Meridian Plumbing, it'll be easy to see why thousands of customers return year in and year out for all their plumbing needs. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Meridian Plumbing offers a no-charge dispatch fee. The search for your permanent plumber is over. Call Meridian Plumbing. Choose the safe local plumber. Choose Meridian Plumbing. Ball taken and pitched back to the return man, number 10. Flag comes flying in on the backside of the play and then spun down to the 30-yard line. Maybe a block in the back there at the 20. We'll wait for the official call from our white hat. The flag actually at the 22-yard line. Block in the back it is against the Bulldogs, so things go from bad to worse here for Kimberly, as that'll take them back 10 yards back to the 12-yard line. 7:07. I tell you what, if you're a 4A school around the state and you're watching this game, you can see why Homedale is ranked where they're at. Handoff and a good carry. And I tell you what, one thing that has been a highlight for the Bulldogs is the number 9, Damon Taylor. Him and Mason Jensen, the big tight end, have done a lot of the work on offense here tonight. But turnovers have plagued them. And just by watching this game, you got to think that we haven't seen many of the schools up north, or at least I haven't. But right now, Sugar Salem and Homedale kind of stand alone at the top of the pack in the 4As. Of course, classification changes this year, where we went to 6A through 1A instead of the 2 Division I's. So Kimberly and Homedale, all those schools, formerly 3A schools, now considered 4A schools. Now, yeah, that has thrown me off for a while here early in the school year. Timeout taken on the field. 6:14 left here in the first half. So if you're listening out there and weren't aware, yeah, Idaho, this is the first year where we've had 6 classifications, but instead of how it was labeled before, we're 6A through 1A, just the 1 division and 1As. So basically everybody moved up a division, if you will.
That had me confused.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard for me to think of some of these schools as anything but what they were for the last almost 20 years.
Yep.
But things change, and sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. I think this was a good change. The 2 divisions in 1A was, I think, confusing to especially outsiders, anybody not familiar with those 2 divisions. It was quite confusing. The other thing that's changed a little bit is over the last 4 or 5 years anyways, is the ability for some of these schools to petition up or down in individual sports. Handoff again, good running again on the outside by number 9, Damon Taylor. And so in certain situations, you'll see a 6A program that's traditionally 6A playing down in the 5A ranks, or a 5A playing down in the 4A ranks in specific sports to be more competitive. 6:08 left here in the second quarter. Rolling right. Nowhere to go. Hit. Ball comes loose, but the running back able to fall on it back there. Number 7, Jackson May. And nearly another turnover. There's been 2 or 3 additional times when Kimberly's put the ball on the grass and they've been able to recover it. This would be a bad spot for another turnover deep in their own end. Handoff, he took it himself, did Bruning. And he'll pick up a couple of yards back, but now it's 3rd down, 3rd and 18 now. Actually, 3rd and about 15 after that run. 5:20 and counting here in the second quarter on Magic Valley game night. The lights are on here at Kimberly High School. Throw down the side. Kimberly fans wanted a pass interference call, but there's no way, as the defenders were already there and the offensive player ran into them. No flag on the play. 5:06. 5:06 left here in the first half, and Kimberly punting away for the first time. Kind of fumbles the snap, but Homedale didn't come after him. Got the kick away. It takes a nice bounce down across the 40 to about the 38-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. 4:55 left here in the first half. If you haven't been on the site and you just kind of went right to this game to watch, pull up another browser, open up Idaho Sports again, check out the homepage. There's a lot more information there than you might think. There's information about cross country, the Tiger Grizz meet specifically, all the coaches polls, the media polls, a big section about 8-man football, and some articles and things about volleyball going on as well. Boys and girls soccer coaches polls are out there. All the schedules and scores. IdahoSports.com is your leader in Idaho high school sports. So thanks for being with us. Ball thrown out into the flat, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 now for Kimberly. Not only that, each week we have all of the prep casts from across the state. Your regional experts talk about all the goings-on in your part of the state, covering all the different sports going on here in the fall season. Cross-country, football, soccer, and volleyball. Down the field goes Uranga, man wide open, caught, broke into the secondary again. Touchdown again, this time a 72-yard touchdown, 72-yard touchdown pass to number, I can't see what number it is, 12, I believe, on the catch. That's Alec Campos, the sophomore for Homedale, and he scores 33-0 after that touchdown pass. PAT is up and good, and it's 34-0. 4:42 left here in the first half. We're going to step away and take a break. This is Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you, and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
Well, welcome back as the kickoff drove the return man back into the end zone for a touchback. So the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, trailing 34-0 here with 4:42 left in the first half. Lauren Jensen, Jarrett Hess here with you on Magic Valley Game Night.
Friday the 13th really getting to the Bulldogs.
Yes, not a good Friday evenings thus far for the hometown team. Well, that young man has had a good night rushing the football. That is Taylor, the senior running back. So he gets another 4 or 5 yards out to the 24-yard line. 2nd and 6. Handoff again to Taylor, right up the middle. Taylor breaking tackles, still on his feet, and then dives forward. Gets very close to the first down marker. He'd kind of landed on one of his own players and had never actually hit the ground and then dove forward. Quickly at the line of scrimmage. Taylor again with the carry. First down. As get short to the 34-yard line, 1st and 10. They're going no huddle, and they're going quickly. Handoff again to Taylor. This time Taylor stuck in the backfield, dives forward, just shy of the original line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 upcoming. Kimberly really trying to force the speed here this game to try to catch Homedale off guard on defense. In trouble, Bruning thrown down for a big loss. Number 37 back there with the sack. Or Blewett, excuse me, it was number 32, Blewett. Tackled him for the big loss. 3rd and 17. Actually, we'll say 3rd and 16. 3:10 on the clock and counting. Bruning takes the snap, rolling right. Looking downfield, nowhere to go, gets rid of it, and it's knocked down. 4th and 16 upcoming. And you got to think that Kimberly will kick it away here back at their own 30-yard line. They've had a couple of good drives, have the Bulldogs, but too many mistakes. They've turned the ball over, 2 pick sixes, a fumble deep in their own end that resulted in 6 points, and then they've given up some big, long touchdown passes as well. A 72-yarder and an 85-yarder. Punt blocked. And Homedale picks it up. They're going to run this one in too. Touchdown. The punt is blocked. So special teams does it this time. It's been the defense forcing all the problems and putting points on the board, and now the special teams block a punt, and they score. 40-0. 2:48 left here in the first half. You know, and Jarrett, on the last punt, the ball was kind of bobbled on the snap, and Homedale didn't go after it. They went after that one, and no problem. They blocked it easily, picked it up, ran it in. PAT coming. Mishandle on the snap, so in trouble is Uranga, running. Throws it out to the kicker, and he's knocked down. So a little mistake there. But I think if you're Homedale, you can live with that, up 40-0, as they've missed one PAT and then a little botched snap there on the other, so no good on the completion, on the conversion. 2:48 left here in the first half. We're going to step away again for a break. This is Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes, and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
Ads like this keep popping up, but I see through the hype because those vape clouds people claim are just water vapor contain as many as 31 different chemicals, like formaldehyde, the stuff they preserve dead bodies with. And while the flavors sound all harmless, we still have no idea what these ingredients could be doing to our bodies. But I already see vaping for exactly what it is. Get the real facts at BehindTheHaze.com.
Welcome back as the kickoff was taken right at the goal line by Taylor. He's dropped at the 19. Excuse me, that was not Taylor. That was number 4 on the return, A.J. Walker. Bowden on the tackle on the return. And so they'll have 81 yards to go. to try to get some points on the board before the end of the half. 2:41 left here in the first half. It's all Homedale. Back to pass, little middle screen. Hit right as he caught it, but they do get positive yardage out to the 25. Again, that is Taylor with the catch. This time doing it through the air. Back to the line of scrimmage. Bruning back to pass, looks right, slings it there. Hit again, going to be just shy of the first down. They picked up about 3, just right at the sticks. Third and half a yard. Minute 55 on the clock. Keeper by Bruning. Bruning trying to get to the outside, needs to turn it up. He does. Picks up the first down. Good run by Bruning there out to the 35-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 now. Minute 44 left here in the first half. As Bruning checks on the play call. Takes a snap, handoff to Taylor. Taylor over the left side. He's got room to run, and then popped out of bounds across just shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Good run again by Taylor. And with a minute 23 left here, 52 yards to go for the Bulldogs to try to get to the end zone for the first time in this ball game. And the bad snap still being bobbled, and finally Bruning able to corral it. I don't think Bruning ever really got a hold of that on the snap. Then he tried to hand it to Taylor, who also couldn't hold on to it. It was bouncing around like a beach ball at a Nickelback concert. Before Bruning finally able to hold on to it. Back to pass. Bruning throwing down the sideline. The tight end had it. Would have been a great catch, but Jensen, one of his only miscues of the ball game there. And it'll be third and long. That was that over-the-shoulder catch, and Jensen couldn't haul it in. 45 seconds left on the clock. 3rd and 18 now for Kimberly. Man in motion. Bruning back to pass. Now he's rolling out right. In trouble, sacked for a loss of 1. It'll be 4th and 19 back at the 39-yard line. And with 32 seconds left, clock running, well, it'll be interesting to see what Kimberly decides to do here, because they could almost run this clock down and take one last shot down the field if they wanted to. And I think if I was the coach, that's what I would do. But I don't know if they're even going to snap it. It doesn't look like they're even going to snap the ball. They're not. They're going to take this into halftime down 40-0. So at halftime, it is all Homedale. 40-0 over the hometown Bulldogs. We're going to step away for a halftime break. This is Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com. We'll be back in a few minutes to talk a little bit about the first half.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles.
Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
An Idaho-based credit union is leading the way in community initiatives and charitable partnerships. Recognizing a need for change, Lookout Credit Union underwent a major transformation to put its employees and their community first. Through two strong initiatives, Lookout Credit Union is ensuring a brighter future for its community. To find out more, visit www.lookoutcu.com.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Yeah, I know a little something about myths. Like the myth that speeding isn't dangerous. Oh, and that myth you can tailgate at a safe distance. Or that you could safely weave in and out of traffic. Don't be fooled by myths. You'll get yourself into a hairy situation. Stay focused on the road. Be a legend like me. Have you heard the one about Charlie over at Pay Lake?
We're Valleywide Country Store. For 100 years.
Welcome back to Kimberly High School as we get a shot of the American flag there as they honor all current, retired, military, anyone who's served in the armed forces. Of course, 2 days ago, the anniversary of 9/11 and the events that took place during that time. And of course, if you're in the Magic Valley, you're well aware of the big flag that hangs from the Perrin Bridge as the bridge crosses the canyon going into Twin Falls. A massive flag hanging there for the next, I think, the next several days. Sounds like we're going to have a firework display as well, as current and retired military as they honor them. I'll talk a little bit as we have fireworks coming on the field. We've had some fireworks from the Homedale Trojans as well. Trojans, a little fireworks display tonight of their own, mostly on defense as they 2 pick sixes for the Trojans. Also, they forced a fumble deep in Kimberly's end, scored on that. Then they had an 85-yard touchdown throw. That was actually their first score of the game on 3rd and 15 from Uranga. And then a 72-yard touchdown throw from Uranga. Then a blocked punt was picked up and taken in by special teams for a touchdown. And just like that, in the first half, it's 40-0. As we get a little fireworks show here at halftime as well in Kimberly. A lot of football going on across the state here on a Friday night. But I dare to say we might be one of the onlys getting a fireworks display here, which is pretty cool. A nice way to honor our military and all those that were part of 9/11 and that are currently protecting our country. Take a look at some of the scores while you get to enjoy the fireworks. Take a look at some of the scores across the state. I know that game 10-7, Middleton ahead of, I think it was Kuna that they were playing. Yeah, Middleton over Kuna 10-7 at halftime. As Kuna, when they went live, this was in Rigby. A massive American flag was out on the field in Rigby as well. So multiple high schools across the state honoring those that have served in the military and fallen during this time, and a great thing to do on a Friday night. Not much more American than high school football on a Friday night. Let you watch the finale here. A great display put on here at Kimberly High School. Pretty good fireworks display here in South Central Idaho. As we've got about a minute and a half left on the clock here at halftime. Teams will be coming out shortly. Thanks for joining us here on Magic Valley Game Night. We want to thank a couple of our major sponsors. Lookout Credit Union, you've seen their commercial a couple times already. And we want to thank Meridian Plumbing as well. They're the Treasure Valley's top choice when it comes to your plumbing needs. For over 40 years, Meridian Plumbing has been serving new home builds and remodels, farms and businesses across the Treasure Valley. After your first service call with Meridian Plumbing, it'll be easy to see why thousands of customers return year in and year out for all their plumbing needs. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Jarrett, Meridian Plumbing also offers a no-charge dispatch fee.
Do they really?
They do. The search for your permanent plumber is one call or click away, and that is to Meridian Plumbing. Choose the safe local plumber. Choose Meridian Plumbing. Huge thanks to them. Also want to thank our major sponsors, Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. And a couple of our can't get to our power boosters for tonight's games. I can get to them for the Kimberly Bulldogs. Bulldogs, their power booster, Goody Motor, a Ford dealer here in South Central Idaho. And for the Trojans, got a Waihe Sand and Gravel, of course Meridian Plumbing, the Valley's leader in safe choice plumbing since 1985, and Vance Dairy Construction. Huge thanks to all of them. Of course, Homedale, a big dairy area, just like here in South Central Idaho. This whole area, Jerome, Filer, Kimberly, Gooding, covered, Wendell, and Buell, covered with dairies.
Absolutely littered.
Littered with dairies. And talk about state-of-the-art. I'm sure that's what Vance Dairy Construction does. State-of-the-art dairy facilities. Probably cleaner than my house, some of them. They're phenomenal, the way that some of these large dairies have clean, temperature-controlled, just some fantastic things for the dairies here. And
the agricultural industry nowadays is crazy.
Yeah, big milk production here in South Central Idaho. And so if you're having some ice cream tonight on a Friday night, thank your local dairyman. About a minute 22, they put a little time back on the clock after the halftime display. Both teams out on the field. Kimberly got the opening kickoff, so Homedale is going to have a chance here with the opening kick of the second half to extend this lead. Another score coming in. Boise 7, Timberline 6 at halftime. Over there in the Treasure Valley. Here on our game, we're getting ready to start the third quarter after a fast first half. We were under an hour on that first half.
Oh, yeah.
And now, about 15 minutes later, we're getting ready to start the third here. 12 minutes on the clock as the opening kickoff of the second half is coming. Homedale will have it to start this third quarter. And the kick is away, angled to the left sideline, far sideline. Now he's going to try to return to the near sideline. Now cuts back up the middle, room to run, and then cut down and drag down from behind out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Trojans. We'll see what they do, and we'll see how long we see the starters in this ball game. Down on the track, if you want to pan down to that, Jarrett, there were all the youth cheerleaders walking out. They were part of the halftime show as well, and there are a bunch of them. All decked out in their Kimberly uniforms. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Uranga still in the game. Pitches back. Ball carrier, I think, is Blewett. And it was number 32. Blewett, 6'1", 190-pound junior. Javid Blewett. 2nd and 11. No gain, maybe a little loss on the play. Just underway here in the third quarter on Magic Valley game night. Rolling left is Uranga, completes it for about 6 or 7, well, we'll say 6. It'll be 3rd and 4 coming up. Rafael Cuenca, the 6'2" senior with the catch over there on the far sideline. 3rd and 4, 11 minutes left to go here in the third. It's been all Homedale. There we go. We got the truck across the way to shut their lights off. I was wondering what that glare was on the screen. Third and 4. Homedale looking for the play call over there. Now Uranga ready. Takes the handoff, back to pass down the field. That is Blewett with the catch across midfield down to about the 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Or excuse me, that was 24, Lucas Hall on the catch on the far sideline. Another first down. My guess is we may see the starters here, most of the starters for a possession, maybe 2 in this third quarter. And you'll start to see, and we're already seeing some guys cycle in and out offensively. It'll be interesting to see how long Uranga stays in the ball game at quarterback. 1st and 10. Resetting. Now handoff up the middle. And after about a 4-yard gain, dropped at the 44-yard line. That's Blewett on the carry. Second and 6 upcoming for the Bulldogs. If you're for the Trojans. If you're just joining us, yes, that score is correct. It's 40-0 here with 9.5 minutes left to go in the third. Kimberly has 2 pick sixes. A fumble they picked up and scored on a short field, a blocked punt that they picked up and ran in for a touchdown, plus a couple of TD bombs of 85 yards and 72 yards in that first half. Another long throw to the outside, caught. Did he stay in bounds? No, he did not. So that'll be incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 6 now. 9:01 on the clock. Kimberly on the other side of things, of course, they've turned the ball over 3 times, that fumble, the 2 pick sixes, plus they've turned it over twice on downs, had the punt blocked. They've had a couple of drives where they've made good yardage down inside the 30, but were either stopped on downs or, like I said, the fumble was forced. Excuse me, not the fumble was forced. Both times they were stopped on downs or there was a long pick 6 as well. Uranga back to pass, inside screen set up. And initially got away, but only picked up about 3 yards. And it's going to be 4th down and 3 now. That gets a cheer from the Kimberly sideline as it's now 4th down. Cuenca with the catch there, and an injured player on the field. It looks like a Kimberly defensive lineman out there. That was number 25, actually. He's been in a lot of plays for the Bulldogs. That's Lucas Williams. He's been a highlight on defense for the Bulldogs. He'll get just kind of helped off. Looks like he's walking okay. Hope to see him back in the ball game. So 4th and 3, and again, you're in that spot where more than likely you're going to go for it. Although Uranga is deeper now, he may just pooch punt this. We'll see. He's deeper than he normally has been. Now he steps up. He may take the snap traditionally. He will roll out to his right. And off the fingertips, a turnover on downs. It was intended for number 12, Alec Campos. And it was just outside his reach. And with 8:29 left on the clock, Kimberly forces a turnover on downs, and they'll take over at their 39-yard line, just shy of the 40. Thank you to all of us, from us to all of you for joining us on a Friday 13th. Mason Jensen with the catch from his tight end spot. Going to pick up some yards and then dragging people out to the 45-yard line. Second and 5 now for the Bulldogs. See if they can get something going here. Thrown across his body, it's Jensen again with the catch, making guys miss all the way out to the 30-yard line. So again, Mason Jensen on the receiving end. And it's 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Little life on the Kimberly sideline here with 8:11 left in the third. Handoff up the middle, maybe, well, they got about 5. A nice carry. And now an injured, well, now up and hobbling off the field is number 61. He's going to stay on the field, actually. And a timeout, I believe, going to be called. No, it's for an injured player. The officials took a timeout because there was an injured player. Kimberly was trying to get quickly back to the line of scrimmage. 7:55 and counting. And a flag comes in. Offsides on the defense. So 5 free yards and a first down. Ball right at the 20-yard line for Kimberly. This is as close as they've been. And guys jumped again, and they get 5 more. So it'll be 1st and 5 from the 15 now for Kimberly as they inch closer to the end zone. Rolling right, Bruning lets it go for the end zone. Ball up in the air. Caught, touchdown. Great catch in the far side of the end zone. Caught for a touchdown and a nice opening drive for Kimberly as they get on the board. Collective cheer from the sideline here as they get on the board, now trailing 40-6, PAT pending. 7:37 left here in the third as they score on a 15-yard touchdown pass. PAT up, and it looks like it's good. It is. So a good drive on their first possession for the Bulldogs, and they score, making it 40-7, and the fireworks continue. I forgot about that last year when we were here at this. We did a couple of games from here, and they always had the fireworks here. It's kind of fun. Some schools, they have a cannon that shoots off after every home score.
What schools that does that?
Raft River does it. Burley does it. Those are the couple that I can think of off the top of my head. Raft River, though, it's such a small venue. I mean, the field's obviously the same size, but everything just is closer.
Yeah.
And they have that cannon sitting right outside the end zone down there, and it every time when you're there in the press box, it scares me half to death.
Yeah.
You can just feel the just when it goes off, just that boom that rattles through you. You know, the bad part about if you're at home watching this game on Idaho Sports, this is really the only bad part about watching it at home and listening to us, is you don't get the smells.
It's true.
Here. The hamburgers are cooking down here on the concession stands.
You can probably see the smoke in the air.
Yeah, it is killing me. It smells so
smells
delicious.
So good.
For some reason, the whistle blew. Fair catch called for. And the ball came free. I don't know what the rule is exactly in high school with the fair catch, if you actually have to catch it or if you can just call for a fair catch. We'll see if the Kimberly defense can step up here. Honestly, other than the 2 big plays that they've given up, it hasn't really been their fault.
No, not really.
The offense hasn't done. I mean, they've done for Homedale. The offense has scored twice, obviously.
Yeah.
But the defense has scored twice as well, and then the special teams got on the board too. So 3 other scores besides the offense for the Trojans. The big touchdown throws didn't help, though.
No.
1st and 15. And hit in the backfield and dropped. No gain. So it's going to stay 2nd and 15. Good swarming defense that time by Kimberly. A little bit of life over here on this sideline. It's still a big hole to dig yourself out of.
They've got a lot of ground to make up.
But there's still a 1/4 left in this ball game.
It's true, they got time.
Homedale will be very, very methodical with their offense. Knocked down. Diving in there to knock that thing down. We'll see who that was on defense for Kimberly. That's number 0 for the Bulldogs, Titus Osterman. He just jumped up over his blocker and knocked that ball to the turf, and now it's 3rd and 15. So the defense stepping up here. Of course, the last time it was 3rd and 15, we had an 85-yard touchdown toss, and we could very well have the same thing here if history repeats itself. Uranga in the gun. Back to pass. They go down the field again. That's going to get over everybody and incomplete. So history does not repeat itself, and Homedale will have to punt. As they find themselves 4th and 15 back at their own 16-yard line. Fourth and 15. Return man back at his own 35-yard line. Another good punt, end over end. It's going to take a bounce, and he'll just leave it as it takes a nice hop for the Bulldogs. Ball dies at about the 47, 48-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from there. Good field position for them on another opportunity here to score. 6:44 left in the 3rd. Thanks for joining us on Magic Valley Game Night. Magic Valley Game Night presented by Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Handoff up the middle. That's Taylor. He'll pick up about 4. Also additional coverage on IdahoSports.com presented by Meridian Plumbing and Lookout Credit Union. Down the far sideline into a lot of coverage, and it's caught. Titus Osterman. Titus looking like a titan there as he went up and took that away from everyone. A great catch by the tight end. Handoff around the left side, dragging tacklers inside the 10. And do we have a flag somewhere? We must have a flag from the back judge. We'll see what the call is from the white hat. We do have a flag from the back judge all the way down there at the 5-yard line. Ineligible substitution or illegal substitution against Kimberly. They had 12 men on the field, or excuse me, on Homedale. So they'll decline that, take the first down, and it's 1st and goal at the 8. 6 minutes and counting. Straight take by Bruning. Bruning still in the pile. Bruning being pushed. They'll call him down at the 2. So 2nd and goal now from the 2. As they get back to the line of scrimmage, and now a timeout taken again by Homedale as they had too many people on the field. It'll be 2nd and goal with 5:33 left here on the clock. We're going to take a break. We'll step away. This is IdahoSports.com and Magic Valley Game Night.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles.
Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused.
Welcome back after the timeout. It's 2nd and goal. Straight keeper by Bruning. Bruning into the end zone. No signal yet. Touchdown, there it is. So, 2 scores here in 6 minutes and 30 seconds from the Bulldogs. The fans wondering where this was in the first half as they've dug themselves a deep hole trying to get out of it now.
Making their way back up, but they still got a ways to go.
PAT pending. Kick up, and I don't know, that looked off to the right. No good. So 40-13 as it was off to the right. 5:29 left here in the first half. We're going to step away for another break. This is Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
An Idaho-based credit union is leading the way in community initiatives and charitable partnerships. Recognizing a need for change, Lookout Credit Union underwent a major transformation to put its employees and their community first. Through 2 strong initiatives, Lookout Credit Union is ensuring a brighter future for its community. To find out more, visit www.lookoutcu.com.
All right, welcome back. Getting ready for the kickoff after a couple of quick scores here in the 3rd quarter for the hometown Bulldogs. A few more updates on scores for you. 21-14, Madison led Skyline at halftime. That's a 6A, 5A matchup. 21-0 Rigby over BK at halftime. That's again a 6A, 5A matchup. Kickoff drives the return man all the way back to the goal line. Now trying to come to the right. 1 missed tackle, but they won't miss again. Driven down at the 16-yard line. Great coverage by the Bulldogs. Another score for you, Raft River 16, Oakley 14 at half. And at halftime as well, Cary 60, Castleford 0. An old-fashioned blowout for the Bulldogs of Cary. Cary Panthers. I think it's the Panthers. It's not the Bulldogs. I don't know who else I'm thinking. There's another school that size that's the Bulldogs, but I can't think of who it is. But I think Cary's the Panthers. So 1st and 10 back at the 9 as there was a penalty as well. Tale of 2 halves so far. Handoff up the middle. I believe that's Blewett. Blewett on the carry. Gets it out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Nice carry. 2nd and 3 upcoming. 5:08 and counting. Got actually 7. They're gonna. Well, they say 2nd and 2. I'm gonna say 2nd. Well, it is 2. So 8 yards on that. Blewett with the carry. Flag comes in, and we're gonna have a false start, I would guess. Yep, false start on Homedale. So I don't know what's changed. I don't believe there are a lot of new players in there. There may be some 2nd-string offensive linemen, some of the other position players. But the offense has certainly stalled out here, at least early on here in the third quarter for the Trojans. Uranga still in at quarterback. Blewett in the backfield with him. Back to pass. Blewett out. It's caught, but a nice tackle and a short gain. I think that's Cuenca out there who caught that. Excuse me, that's 8, so Tello. So 3rd and 3 now. Another opportunity here for Kimberly to force a punt. If they could get a stop here with 4:05 left on the clock. Back to the line of scrimmage are the Trojans. Kind of wonder if they'll try a hard count here and try to draw Kimberly off sides. Pass again, right at the sticks, it's caught. That's gonna be a first down. He got it on the initial catch. First down, they got an extra yard than what they needed. A great route run out there by, I think that was Nolasco actually out there. As he went a yard beyond the sticks, caught that. No, it was Cuenca. So he went out there, caught it at the just beyond the sticks and got the first down. 3rd and 30. Just kidding. 3:30 left on the clock, 1st and 10. Handoff. Carry for about 5 to the 25. Blewett with the carry. Substitutions into the game. 2nd and 5 for Homedale. They had a monster of a first half, have yet to really do anything offensively here in the second half. But a lot of time running off the clock here as well. It's 2:42 left in the third. Handoff to Blewett. Blewett around the right side, first down and more, out across the 30 to the 32-yard line. And I bet we'll see a lot of ground and pound here from the Trojans as they want to just keep the clock running as much as possible. Up 40-13. Kimberly able to score twice quickly here in the third quarter, but still down 27. And again, Homedale taking all the time that they can between possession or between plays. Pass out in the flat. Got a nice block and then driven out of bounds. About a 4 or 5 yard gain. Cuenca again on the catch. Minute 45 left here in the third. So officially they give him 4 on the catch. 2nd and 6 upcoming. It's been a good atmosphere here at Kimberly High School. Not probably the score that all the hometown fans would like to see on the board, but the halftime activities, the youth cheerleaders, as there goes Blewett all the way out to midfield and across midfield. Another big pickup on the ground as they'll continue to eat up more time on the clock. 1:07 and counting here in the third. But a good atmosphere. A little tribute to the service men and women at halftime here. And before the game, really, as they had the team run out onto the field with American flags. Handoff goes to Blewett around the left side. Lots of room to run. Chopped down, and he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down. Out across the 40 to the 39. 2nd and 1 upcoming. 30 seconds and counting here in the third. Well, there's still a quarter left in this ball game, but just based on the pace of play and the score differential, more than likely, Homedale going to get out of here with a win. They're going to move to 3-0 on the season, whereas Kimberly, and there's an injured player out there. That's part of the delay. And that's the end of the quarter as well. So they'll switch ends of the field. Like I was mentioning, Kimberly's going to fall to 1-3. Take a look at upcoming schedules. So, as I mentioned, Homedale, they beat Snake River 22-6 on their opening night. And then they beat Filer 47-0. Looks like they're going to beat Kimberly here tonight. Then they turn around and play Jerome. Jerome struggled on the season as well. That should be a W. Payette, Homedale's had their number. That should be a W. Weiser, Weiser has been good over the last couple of years. I don't know what they look like this year. That could be an interesting matchup, conference matchup. Fruitland, much improved this year. That could be a tough game for the Trojans. They play McCall. McCall's been pretty good over the last few years. I don't know if they've lost what they lost last year from their playoff squad. And then the newcomer for their finale, the Coal Valley Christian Chargers. Coal Valley was the classification below last year, what was 2A. Now they've bumped up. They're the 4A division now in this conference. Don't know what they'll look like at the end of the season. So possibility here for Homedale to run the table throughout the season. That would help put them in a good spot when it comes to playoff time. Currently, Coal Valley in the conference 0-2, Weiser 0-2, Payette 2-0, McCall 2-0, Homedale 2-0, and Fruitland 3-0. Back to passes, Uranga. Uranga throws it out there, but it was incomplete. The coach wanted an interception, but he didn't realize that his player didn't actually catch the ball.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah, it's one of those weird rules. They force you to catch it. I don't know. It's weird.
Kind of lame.
Good effort, though, down there by the coach. I like it. You know, he is pepped up still here, urging his team along, his defense, trying to get them fired up for this ball game here. Still a lot of time left, 11:22, and a lot of progress to be made if they can get there. First down or very close to it. We'll see what the spot is from the side judge. The head linesman says, yep, that's a first down. Ball just shy of the 37-yard line for Homedale as they continue to eat up the clock, under 11 minutes now. For Kimberly upcoming, Kimberly, man, they scheduled themselves a tough non-conference schedule. Man in motion, Uranga lets him get set, and then the handoff to number 42. Lots of room to run, trying to get to the outside, cut down. Nice tackle out in the open, but number 42 on the carry, that's Cade Hall. So Kimberly played Fruitland on the road, a good 4A team. They played Sutter Union out of California at the Rocky Mountain Rumble. My mistake, I thought it was a Nevada school. It was Sutter Union out of California and got beat. They played Snake River, another good 4A squad down in the 5th district, beat them by 4. And then Homedale, the number 2 team in the state, as that handoff taken for a first down and then jumping over the 20 and then tackled at the 17. Then they play Homedale tonight, the number 2 team in the state. Next week, they play the number 1 team in the state in the Sugar Salem Diggers at Sugar City, which is going to be a tough game over there on Sugar Salem's home field.
Sugar Salem puts up a good fight in every game they play.
Yeah, they haven't lost many of those fights over the last several years.
Nope.
Flag comes in on the play. It was a good pickup on the run, but I think we might have a hold. Then they turn around and start into their conference play after that on October 4th. They have a bye in between, and then they play Filer at home, here in Kimberly. Then they play Wood River here in Kimberly. Then they go on the road for their 2 finales at Buell, which that's going to be a tough matchup. Buell, a good football team. They have done very well thus far this season. And Gooding for their finale. And Gooding right now, I believe, is still, they're 2-0 on the season as well. So a couple tough ones to end the season. And, man, their non-conference matchups have been rough. For Kimberly, you just got to hope that you can make the playoffs. Now, if you win your conference, they're probably in. You got to get by Buell, though. And I think that's going to be the tough one for them, is to get by Buell. If they can win the conference, they'll make the playoffs and have a shot to go make a playoff run. So teams are going to come to the sideline. I'm not exact. Oh, there's a injured player down there on about the 12-yard line for the Kimberly Bulldogs. He'll kind of walk off with a trainer and a coach by his side. Well, it's very likely that Kimberly could definitely make the playoffs. The only problem I see is they may have a tough time making the playoffs if they can't beat Buell. They might still be ranked high enough to get there, but with their tough schedule, they're going to have this loss. I'd put money on them losing to Sugar Salem just based on history.
Yep.
And then they've got 4 winnable games. They need to win all 4 of those to close out the season to give themselves the best shot, especially if they happen to lose. If they only win 3 of 4 and they lose to Buell by chance, they need to win everything they can to try and make the playoffs. Carey stood up and then driven back. We're going to get out to the 24-yard line. 8:31 left here in the ball game. Second now and about 14. Some fireworks happening over there just in the community across from us. Somebody must have seen the fireworks here at the football field and decided, hey, we got some left over from the 4th. Let's just shoot them off.
Kimberly seems like a fun town to be in.
Yeah, fireworks all over town.
Not a fun town to sleep in, though.
Yeah, exactly. Pass broken up and dropped. Would have been right at the first down marker, but as it is, it's going to be 3rd and 14. Another quick half, and I haven't been, all my games this season have been long, like 3 hours. Tonight,
this one's going by quick.
Barring something crazy happening, this game will be done here in about 20 minutes. More fireworks across the way. Urenga in the pistol. 3rd and long. Urenga rolling right, back to pass. Across the middle, man wide open across the formation, touchdown. Beautifully executed play. They rolled everybody right, brought one receiver back across the field. He was wide open. Touchdown Homedale, 46-13. Just a great play there. Everybody sold it that they were going right. Urenga was looking right the whole time and then hit his man going back across the field for a touchdown. On for the PAT is Lucas Hall. That one's up and through, a line drive. And it's 47-13. 6:53 left here in the 4th quarter. We're going to step away for a break. We'll be back. This is IdahoSports.com.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
Go. Yeah, let's go. You got it. All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
Go ahead, Jarrett. You were saying.
I was on IdahoSports.com looking at the other Bulldogs because Lauren got me thinking. There's the Rockland Bulldogs, which I think that's a 1A, so that would have been, who are you comparing it to, Cary?
Yeah, Cary.
Yeah, that would
which
have been
are the Panthers.
Yep. That would be a comparison to Cary, because Cary's a 1A if I'm correct.
Yeah. They might be in the 2A division now, what's called, but they are that original 1A division.
Oh, sorry, I forget the change you were talking about.
Yeah. So kickoff taken at about the 7 or 8. Return up across the 25. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs of Kimberly. But yeah, there's a lot of Bulldogs. In fact, that might be the most common mascot in the state of Idaho, and maybe more than that. Yeah, like Bulldogs is a very common one. I mean, there's
Sandpoint Bulldogs.
The Ryrie is the Bulldogs.
Yeah,
as
Ryrie
well.
Bulldogs. I'm seeing that right here. Nampa Bulldogs.
1st and 10, back to pass. Bruning across the middle. It's Mason Jensen again for a big first down out to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, plenty of Bulldogs to go around in Idaho.
Yeah, there are a lot. That's a really common mascot across the country probably, but specific in the state of Idaho for sure. Back to pass. Bruning going down the field. The only man there is wearing white, and he dropped it. Incomplete. The only man there to try to get it was number 12, Alec Campos, and he dropped it. So 2nd and 10 upcoming. There's a few others that are pretty unique across the state as far as the Wampus Cat. You won't find too many of those for mascots. That's Clark Fork, the Wampus Cats.
Wampus Cat.
Yeah.
What's a Wampus Cat?
Handoff over the left side, breaking free into the secondary, still on his feet. Damon Taylor finally driven out of bounds near the 20.
Looking here, there's the Potlatch Loggers.
Yeah, that's a very unique one. The Orofino Maniacs. Not another one of those in the state.
The Murtaugh Red Devils.
Yeah, you got in the Dietrich Blue Devils as well. Rolling, somehow staying on his feet. Great run there by Bruning to get away and pick up some positive yardage out to the 20.
I don't think this one's that out there, but it's just cool to me. The Malad Dragons.
Yeah, I think they're the only Dragons in the state as well. Bruning, handoff to Taylor. Taylor grabbed from behind. Taylor still fighting for yardage and finally dropped. Not going to gain anything, but he went sideways with 3 guys on him for about 10 yards. 4 minutes and counting here. Homedale in charge in this one, 47-13. You've got the New Plymouth Pilgrims, the only Pilgrim mascot in the state.
Oh, okay.
And the Indian becoming a very uncommon mascot across the state.
Uncommon?
Yeah, there used to be quite a few more. Buell, I think, one of those teams holding on to that mascot currently.
Yep. Declo Hornets.
And trying to throw that away and nearly intercepted. Yeah, the Hornets, that's a pretty unique one as well. The Kamei Cubs. I think they're the only Cub mascot in the state as well. So 4th and 8 now coming up, 3:08 left on the clock here in the ball game. Kimberly trying to get another point on the board here, another touchdown. A little momentum headed into next week as they will travel across to Eastern Idaho in a very tough matchup against the #1 team in the state, the Sugar Salem Diggers. To the end zone, and there's some momentum. Caught in the end zone, numero 0, Titus Osterman with the touchdown grab.
The Camas County Mushers.
Yeah, Mushers.
Mushers, okay.
Mushers, yeah. They're, the mascot is like a husky, so they're the Mushers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then the Canyon Ridge Riverhawks, I think that's the only Riverhawk in Idaho.
I would think so. There's the Ridgeview in the Boise area in the Valley View School District. That's, I believe they're the Warhawks.
Oh, okay.
But 2-point conversion, he got there. It's good. So on the keeper, gets the 2-point conversion, and it's 47-21. And that's just a moral victory there for the Bulldogs and their quarterback, McCrae Bruning. He's had a rough night. He's fumbled it a couple times. He's thrown a couple pick sixes. That time he gets a touchdown pass to Osterman and scores on the 2-point conversion. So a little more respectable on the board here in the fourth quarter, as it is 47-21. Looks a lot better than 40-0 like it did at halftime. Still gonna be a victory for the Trojans. But Kimberly has not given up in this ball game. They have come out in the second half, played much better. They look much better here in the second half. They haven't made the mistakes on offense, and they haven't given up the big plays like they did in the first half. Short kick taken at the 20 and then sliding down at the 23. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans with 2:25 and counting on the clock. The offense for Homedale has been good, but the defense was great, especially in that first half. 2 pick sixes, a forced fumble that ended up in a touchdown, and then the special teams with a block punt return for a touchdown. Handoff around the right side, picking up about 7 on the carry. 2nd and 3 with 1:45 as this game coming to an end here shortly. We want to remind everybody we'll have our player of the game presented by the Office of Transportation Safety, the Idaho Transportation Department. Huge thanks to them. Handoff going to be near the first down, maybe just shy, it looks like. So 3rd and a long one or a short 2, depending on if you see the world the glass half full or the glass half empty.
Well, half empty and half full is the same thing.
That's true. So 3rd and 2. We'll say 3rd and 2. As they take all the time that they can here. Urenga back in the pistol. He's going to hand it off up the middle. I don't think he got there. Good 4th down, or a good stop on 3rd down for the Bulldogs. But with only 25 seconds left, I don't think that Homedale's even going to have to snap the ball again. Well, our IdahoSports.com player of the game tonight, it's brought to you by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to always keep your head in the game, whether you're on the field or the road. Be in the moment and free from distractions. It's going to be our quarterback for the Homedale Trojans, Xavier Uranga, the junior. He had 3 touchdown throws, 2 of them. One of them was a 85-yarder, another one a 72-yarder. He led the offense to this big win. Got a lot of help from his defense and special teams, but congratulations to Xavier Uranga, our IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Well, we're final here tonight. And a big win for the Homedale Trojans, 47-21 over the Kimberly Bulldogs. And this game was essentially over at halftime. A little bit of a victory for the Bulldogs in the second half. They put up 21 points. They did outscore Homedale 21-7 in the second half, but that big 40-0 hole early on is what doomed the Bulldogs early on. I want to thank all of you for joining us on IdahoSports.com and joining us on Magic Valley Game Night. Again, today's player of the game brought to you by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to always keep your head in the game, whether you're on the field or on the road. Be in the moment and free from distractions. That is Xavier Uranga, number 14, the junior quarterback for the Homedale Trojans. This has been an IdahoSports.com game stream production of Magic Valley Game Night, presented by Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Additional coverage on IdahoSports.com has been brought to you by Meridian Plumbing and Lookout Credit Union. Broadcast was also made possible by other great support from our power boosters for both Kimberly and Homedale. Check them out on their school site on IdahoSports.com. Of course, for the Homedale Trojans, those are Meridian Plumbing, Owyhee Sand and Gravel, and Vance Dairy Construction. And for the Kimberly Bulldogs, it is Goody Motor. They're a Ford dealer. One of the best places to work for in Idaho. So check them out if you're looking for a new car or truck. Well, thanks again for joining Jared and I tonight here on IdahoSports.com. Special thanks to the athletic director here at Kimberly High School and everyone behind the scenes. And thanks for everyone at IdahoSports.com for helping us get this broadcast to you. Congratulations once again to our IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, Xavier Uranga. And thanks for joining us as the Homedale Trojans defeat the Kimberly Bulldogs by a score of 47-21. For my broadcast partner, Jarrett Hess, and everyone else at IdahoSports.com, I'm Lauren Jensen. So long until next time, have a great night and be safe.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express